There are 3 barriers that keep people away from Christianity. 3 barriers. Intellectual reasons. There are also emotional objections. The third one's probably the most difficult, though. What's the third one? Volitional. The will. They don't want to be Christians. Now, what is the best way to do evangelism? And now we're going to get into, really, why can't you be normal just like me? How can you adapt to different personalities? DISC. Okay? Here it is. This is the DISC personality profile, and this will help you with evangelism. It'll also help you with your personal or professional relationships, okay? First thing I want you to notice here is we have a kind of quadrant thing here going, and the folks on the top are your fast, outgoing, direct people, and the folks on the bottom are slow, reserved, and indirect. The folks on the left are your more task-oriented thinking and feeling folks. Those are the D's and the C's. And the folks on the right, the I's and the S's, are people-oriented, emotional, and feeling. So the extroverts are on the top, the D's and the I's. The more introverted folks are on the bottom, the S and the C's. The more task-oriented people, the D's and the C's, are on the left. And the more people-oriented folks, the I's and the S's, are on the right. Now, we've got some D words for you to describe the D. D's are dominant, demanding, direct, determined, decisive, dictatorial, dogmatic, driving, diligent, dynamic doers who can be defiant. The last word in the series is the problem word, defiant. Franklin Graham, Billy Graham's son. Now, Billy Graham is an S, but Franklin Graham, his son, is a D. I don't know, you guys, this is 10 years ago now, 9/11. Right after 9/11, Franklin Graham said, Islam is evil. And everybody came down hard on him. You can't say that. You know what Franklin Graham did? He put it in the Wall Street Journal. December 3rd, 2001. Islam is evil. There, I said it. Okay? That's what Franklin Graham said. I mean, he doesn't pull any punches. And Franklin Graham, if you ever notice when Franklin Graham goes on one of these TV shows like Hannity or something, first of all, he won't do an interview that isn't live because he won't let people cut him up. And it doesn't matter what the subject is, Franklin Graham will always turn the conversation to the gospel. Doesn't matter what it is. Franklin, I hear you got a new plane. Yeah, that's right, we did get a new plane, and that plane will take us places where we can preach the gospel. You know, it doesn't matter. He's going to turn it to the gospel. All right? Richard Dawkins is a D. The guy I had up there earlier, the big atheist. He said anyone who's a creationist is either wicked, stupid, or insane. I mean, just real aggressive. The God delusion. You know, you're deluded if you believe in God. This is very aggressive. Now, our biblical example is the Apostle Paul. Right? What does the Apostle Paul do? Before the Apostle Paul became a Christian, what was he doing? He was persecuting Christians, killing Christians. He was a direct, demanding, decisive, determined, dictatorial, dogmatic, non-Christian. After he became a Christian, he was a direct, decisive, dictatorial, dogmatic, defiant Christian. See, God doesn't change your personality, He just uses it. Because your personality can be used. Even in Galatians. What does he say in Galatians? In Galatians chapter 2, he says, I told Peter to his face that he was wrong for trying to get these New Testament believers to obey the Old Testament law. He's just, right out in the Scripture, I told Peter he was wrong. And then if you notice in 2 Timothy, there's a passage in, I think it's 1st or 2nd Corinthians, where he talks about, you think you're tough? You should see what I've been through. You know, he starts boasting about all the beatings he's had and all the whippings and the shipwrecks and being naked and stoned. And he just goes on and on about it. This is a D. All right, the strengths of the D, they are courageous. The weaknesses, they are reckless. In fact,